the hate that South Africa have toward Nigerian is just out of proportion at this level. This video is for people who are ignorant and who comply in their state of ignorance, okay? And it's sad. And I talk as an African. Now, if South Africa is not an African country, my apology. But at least the girl, she's African. She's from Nigeria. So I take a stand on it because she's African like me. And I talk about everything usually, like I talk about the situation of Africans who are dying in the Mediterranean Sea. And some of you are making fun of it because we see your comment. But you know, history and life is a surprise a lot. And I will talk to you about that later. You know, you never make fun of people who are struggling somewhere because you feel like you are probably comfortable. But when we dig in your own country, we see so many inequalities, especially for you black people, that you know, okay, not insulting, but it's a fact. I like this verse in the poetry of Gaston Figuera. I talked about him one time in my blog, my simple blog, and he has a poem in Spanish, and the poem is because he's from Uruguay, and the poem is El Niño Indio. The part that has always marked me since high school is when he say, pues la ignorancia esclaviza y él da el poder. In Spanish he say that. What does that mean? If I have to translate it in English, he say that the ignorance keep us slaves in a way, you know, and knowledge, okay, the fact that we go to learn, to know the knowledge of, you know, give us power. So what I want to say is, some people feel content and you think that I'm bandwagon. I've learned, I jump in bandwagon. No, since I'm young, being around people talking about politics every time, because yes, my father, being around people talk about politics every time, yes, because my father was involved in politics, not in a little level, like really, okay? When I talk about politics, it's not like we do to eat money, no, it's about opposing a power who is like a power of authoritarian power, okay? That is opposition. Working with opponents from other African countries, but also especially with those from my country who were in asylum and those who were opponents because they had in the diaspora. So usually listen to them talking around me have shaped me in a way to think. And in my environment, I was lucky because my parents gave me time, insist that we be reading a lot. I don't say that I know a lot. I know many things, but he helped me. As a matter of fact, my sister introduced me to an author whose name is George Orwell. Okay, George Orwell. Maybe you know about him because many people know about him. So I'm not bandwagoning in the thing I do. I think before I do. Often about the fact that he's real, I will prove to you that there is work to do. And as the Bible say, okay, I will go straight to a verse of the Bible. The way, okay, the Bible says, the way of fools seems right to them, okay, but the wise listen to advice. I don't call people who are ignorant fools, but when you read some comment and you try to make these people understand that this is not the way to think, they get angry, they're content and comfortable in this position of, you know, you are in a continent, you're not in an island, unless you are not off the continent. I don't know. Calling other African query when they say how they say, because yeah, I have been in South Africa too. I did almost 2 years there. So I have an idea, I have a pretty idea, because I didn't even connect there, because I didn't really connect because it was I don't know, beautiful country, not denied, it's a very beautiful country, like any other country in Africa, beautiful country, but the mentality is still a challenge, especially from the Black community there. So, yeah, I will show you something.
In 2023, Melissa Nayimuli, a former Miss South Africa contestant, faced similar backlash because her father is Ugandan and her mother is South African.
I had just made it to the top 16 of Miss South Africa. You know, it was a time of celebration. I was so excited that here I am, I'm a finalist in such a big competition. And literally, as soon after that, I logged onto social media. The first thing I come across is, how dare she enter Miss South Africa? She's not even fully South African, therefore she cannot represent us. One comment that particularly stood out for me, and I do apologize for using this word to those I will offend. The word is kwere kwere.
Okay, kwere kwere is a way to call foreigners. It's usually African foreigners. So they have no issue with white foreigners. There are more issue with like African foreigners. So when she say that she's not South African enough, last video, if you remember, sir or lady, I don't know who you are, I gave you 2 examples, even 3 examples in America, and I say the reason why white people will still rule is because they understood something. That's why I've been thinking a lot, why is these people are still ruling? And in America, I gave you an example of Ilhan Omar, who is not even American born. She went to America. She came to America as a refugee in her early age of teenage. I don't know, maybe 13 or 12. I don't remember. Maybe 13 or 12. And today she's in a house representative. She's a house representative, something like that, or congresswoman. But she's not American enough, because if you listen to some of her speech, okay, I don't know if it's really pro-American. I don't know, because I remember she had a speech on 9/11. We are in September now, right? It was, I don't know how many years ago. She had a speech on 9/11 that really was pretty shocking for me, for someone who is representing the people in America. I don't know, okay? But let's go it, because for you, someone has to be... The mother of this lady is South African, okay? That happened in 2023, so recently.
Are called kwere kwere in South Africa, and I don't think most people realize how painful that word is, because it is offensive, it is disrespectful, it's derogatory.
Chidimma has said to local media that she feels she's faced black on black hate, as there are other contestants of European and South Asian descent who haven't received this level of criticism. Up until 1994, South Africa was under apartheid rule, a racist system which favored white people and put black people at the bottom. I think people have reacted negatively.
Lady, her name is Dr. Nambulelo Shange. She's sociology professor at the University of the Free State, so she's South African. Now listen to what she has to say.
Chidimma, because there is the sense that she does not belong in South Africa, partly because of her sort of dual ethnicity. A lot of this from the South African context is fueled by this fear and sometimes sadly hate that we have towards African nationals.
She talk about the hate toward African national. Listen. Because you can talk about the xenophobia is one thing, but talking about the hate is another thing. Let's go part 2.